Chapter 28, Part 2, Formation of the Moon. So how did the moon develop? The best idea at the moment is giant impact hypothesis. This occurred when, during the first stage, something very large, at least a quarter the size of Earth, hits the Earth, while hot fragments of the Earth ejected out into space. These fragments would have started circling the Earth, most of them, and they would have coalesced or come together to form our moon. The moon was at that point just a mass of molten rock. The incredible heat from the impact would have started fusing these rocks together. The lighter materials, like the Earth, would have floated to the top, creating an early crust. And the more dense materials, the metals, would have sank to form the core of the moon. During the third stage, the crust would have continued to form. During that time of the solar system formation, there were a tremendous amount of just pieces of rock, space rock, floating around, still not part of anything. And these would have slammed into the moon and the Earth at the time. At that time, impact craters would have been formed on the moon. Sometimes the pieces would have been large enough to crack the crust and allow the basalt to ooze out onto the surface of the moon. During the fourth stage, the number of impacts would be less. Most of those base rock pieces floating out in space would have become part of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, or any of the other planets, including Earth, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. This would have occurred sometime between, about 4 billion years ago. Less craters would have been formed at that time. So here's the giant impact hypothesis again. Pause the video and read through as to how this would have occurred. And again. Gee, I wonder if this is important. What an impact that had to be. Here's a photograph of the side of the moon that faces us, showing us large impact craters. And these are all the names. No, you do not need to know these names. This is the end of chapter 28, part 2, Formation of the Moon.